Hi, welcome to this week's Kindy Science. Today we're going to be talking about density, and the experiment that we're going to do is art chromatography. Now, we did density last week, so James and Rose are going to do a little bit of revision with you about density.
Hey James.
Yeah?
What's the smallest particle called?
The smallest particle is called an atom.
Cool. Can you see atoms?
Not with our eyes, but there is a special microscope that can see atoms.
Are all of the atoms the same size?
If they are the same substance, they are the same, but there are about 118 different elements that make everything, and those 118 atom types vary in size. Some are bigger than others. A water particle or molecule of water is made of 3 atoms. There's 2 hydrogen atoms that are really small and 1 oxygen atom that is much larger.
Revision time. What is density?
Density is a measurement that compares the amount of particles an object has to the space it takes up.
An object with a lot of particles in a certain amount of space has high density. An object with less particles in the same amount of space has a low density.
Let's show you.
Everything is made of particles. Atoms is the scientific name. Atoms can join together in different ways, and when they join together and have lots of space between them, that makes the objects lighter. If the particles are close together, that makes the object heavier.
Let's show you.
Mine has 59 particles or atoms.
Mine has 45 atoms or particles.
Mine is denser and heavier, if you'd like to say, because it has more.
And mine is lighter because it has less.
The experiment that we're going to do this week is paper chromatography. Now, strictly speaking, paper chromatography isn't a density experiment, but it takes in a lot of different theory. It can be about dispersion of the water into the paper, solubility, the inks dissolving into the water, and lots of other elements that are just a little bit too complicated for Kindy Science. But in the end, particles that are big and heavy and most likely more dense will not travel as quickly in the paper as particles that are small, light, and less dense. So, let's get to it.
Let's experiment!
Today we are going to make some
Paper chromatography. We get a piece of paper that's absorbent. Paper like this, paper towels, is good, but you could experiment with different types of paper.
Put some water-soluble pen on paper and place the paper in a tray like this.
We have already started one there. We can also do art by drawing on the paper and dripping water on it, like this. and you can wait for a bit.
Here's one that we did earlier, and now it's dry. We've turned it into a butterfly.
The water will spread up the paper, and the particles in the pen will dissolve or mix with the water and travel with it. Some particles will get trapped in the paper fibers at the bottom because of their shape and size. Big particles will get trapped lower down, and smaller particles will be carried closer to the top.
I hope you enjoyed this week's Kindy Science and you've got some ideas that you can go and experiment with. Remember, ask Mum and Dad before you do any experiments. But with that paper chromatography, you could try different types of paper. You could try different types of watercolour pen. You could try different sizes of paper. So, give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a pretend sticker. And I'll see you next week. Bye.